Hey there, it's Mark. Enjoy this snippet from a previous episode of the Race Grooves Weekend Show. Thanks to my friend Louis Reviolo, who shared his Beatles albums with me to make this presentation. Thank you very much, Louis. In 2017, Hot Wheels released a Beatles 5-car set in their pop culture lineup. Luis Reviolo loaned me all 5 of his albums that go along with these 5 models. Let's go ahead and check them out. Here you have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's going to be a little tough to film this with the camera angles and with lighting. But there you have the logo for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. These are albums for you newer folk. This is how we used to listen to records. I was born in the 60s, so this is definitely how we had it. And into the 70s. And I was even buying albums into the early 80s. Let's take a look on the inside. Gotta try to be as careful as possible with Luis's albums. There's a look at the inside. Oh, my camera, can I see the top? Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty close. There's a look at the inside of the album with the 4 members of the Beatles. Now the albums themselves, they have a little sleeve for the album. There's a look at the inside. Oh, this is cool. Luis told me about this. For this one, they had different cutouts, Sgt. Pepper cutouts, so you can do your own little Sgt. Pepper figure or something. Nothing on the back, just this on the front. And here's the sleeve itself. Let's take a look at the album. I don't know if sometimes they have, a lot of times they have decorations on the center, on the paper part of the album. Oh, this one's stuck in the tape part. He has it taped up so that it doesn't fall out, and then it's kind of, the tape kind of stuck together. Hang on. Is that enough to get it out? There you go. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. There's the album, or the track listings there, 1 through 7. And this is side 1. On side, whoa, almost got away. Side 2, there's the track listings. I'll show the cars later, but first up, let's take a look at I'm taking a look at the album and the artwork. I did not set up these albums to be in any chronological order at all. I just kind of stacked them up. Here you have the Magical Mystery Tour. It says it has a 24-page full-color picture book. I'm not sure if it's included. I'm not sure if Luis has it. But some of the stuff, he's a fan. Check it out. Sometimes he has the Spanish version as well. Now, it's the Spanish version of the packaging. I don't believe they sing in Spanish. I could be wrong, though, right here. Hecho en Mexico. So this is the Spanish version. Let's take a look at the back. I should have looked at these before. I don't think they have anything inappropriate. If not, if something pops up, I'll just have to snip it out. Here's a look at the inside on the left. Actually, there's a page before this on the right. For some of you guys, this is going to be a trip down memory lane, pardon the pun, but I probably have about 80 albums myself. Oh, check it out. See that right there? It's the Magical Mystery Tour. And there was actually a bus, and Luis tells me he actually has a replica from a company, if I think about the name. I think it was the same company that did the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car. But so for them to pick this model for the Magical Mystery Tour, it made sense, right? It's a bus. Now, the bus didn't look like this, but it was pretty clever for Mattel to use a bus for this album right here. 1967 is the copyright on the bottom. Let's take a look, see if it has a sleeve. Now, some of these he had himself, some of these he's picked up along the way. So some of these sleeves might not be the original sleeves. It's a little hard to remember. Here's a look at the track listings. I was trying to be so careful with the first one that the dang thing rolled out of my hand because I was trying to be so gentle. Now for the other side. There's the track listing, in case you were curious what songs were on this album. For the Spanish version, he has it in a plastic sleeve, So, you know, just like other collectibles, you can get different things to protect your collection. I'm glancing out the album. I don't see any difference other than the Hecho in Mexico down here. This one doesn't have a paper. Let me check. I thought this was the one that had a paper inside. Yeah, the other one, there was like an insert right here, but this one does not have it. It does have some of the language inside. Of course, it's for the Spanish market, so a lot of this stuff will be in Spanish. This part is, but of course, the words are going to be in English because that means that the songs are definitely sung in English if they're going to have the, well, now I just realized something. Anyways, yeah, see, look, this one, he just has another sleeve on there. There you have, Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles. I'm trying to think, I see the apple, and I know that Paul McCartney, I thought he, I forget what is that the name of, is the apple the symbol of the record company? I forgot. So as you can see, the Spanish version had a different label applied to the album than the normal version. Now we have the Beatles' Hard Day's Night. This was a movie that the Beatles had done, original motion picture soundtrack. It has 2 samples as well. I'm not sure. You can see that they're different on the bottom. One doesn't have any printing. The other one has high fidelity on the bottom. Take a look at the back. Very similar on the back. I'm not sure why one is different than the other. This one doesn't have any type of plastic sleeve. Here's the names of the songs. Both sides. Let me take a peek at the other album and see if it has some type of paper sleeve inside. This looks like it's an original sleeve, or maybe not, because the other ones actually had a lot of Beatles stuff had graphics on there. So I'm not sure if it's an original sleeve or not. Again, the track listing in case you're curious. If you notice anything of interest, you can pause. Here we have Rubber Soul. This one is a Spanish album, or published for the manufactured for the Spanish market, Hecho in Mexico. This one does have a plastic cover on it, so I'll be careful with that. Here's a look at the back. You've probably already seen, I think it showed a track listing on the package, on the outside of the album. And here's the 5th album that he shared with me for the 5th vehicle in the Hot Wheels Pop Culture Hot Wheels set. Just says the Beatles on the album, and it's known as the White Album. Now on the truck itself, there has a little number here down in the corner. Right on, it says number DWH32. And it turns out that like the first printings of the White Album actually had like a serial number. I believe that's what I read. And so that's why it has a number to symbolize that. But the number that they put on the vehicle, DWH32, is actually, it's actually the number, I guess, assigned to the highway hauler. Let's open it up. I saved that like a case unboxing video. Very plain interior, nothing on the top right, but you do have images of the 4 band members. There's the track listing right there. Now, early Beatles, it's kind of pop rock kind of stuff. Wasn't my thing. It's all right, you know, I can listen to it a little bit. I'm more into the later albums, more so like this White Album and further down. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the track listing when I show the inside. It should have showed the same names. Now for the second insert here. Yep, kind of plain. And the back is plain as well. That's why they call it the White Album. Now, let's go ahead and crack open that diecast. I'm going to do a close-up of the models on the turntable. So let me show you the packaging first before, because I can't show the packaging and then zoom in on the car on the turntable. I have to show two different perspectives. So here is the album artwork and the Haulin Gas. Here you have the original motion picture soundtrack, The Beatles' Hard Day's Night, on the dairy delivery. Rubber sole, rubber biscuit. Got the Ford Transit Supervan. And last but not least, here you have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Got the 67 Austin minivan. We'll start with that one, the 67 Austin minivan. Sometimes the pop culture is a little bit more difficult to open them up. Pretty neat how they choose the different castings. I think this one's all right. It's kind of appropriate for it being, you know, with them being a European band, or originating over there in the UK, right? I was just taking a glance to see if the graphics were the same. They kind of flipped them. It's not exactly, wait a second. Yellow, looks the same. But we'll go ahead and, let's go ahead and just put them on the turntable. I think my lighting might be a little bright. Hang on. There you go. That's a little better. It's not so glaring. Pretty nice that they tampoed the tires. You got printing on the tires. It says Sgt. Pepper's. It has S and then a symbol, and that symbol's actually on the album for Sgt. It's a little hard to see. Let's give them a spin so you can check out all the sides. It says the Beatles. They had to put the trademark or licensing information on the base. You know, at least it's not big and glaring like some of the ones they do for the Marvel. It's not bad having it on the back. Hopefully the clicking of the turntable isn't too bad. Sorry about that. Let's get a similar model, the Ford Transit Supervan for rubber sole. I like that Austin Mini. I also like this Supervan. Now this one's got the tampo tires, so you can't, customizers can't really use it for something else. Look, tampoed headlights. Graphics in the back, tampo taillights. Supervan has a, now if it was red striped wheels it'd be better, but you know, they did orange striped wheels to go along with the graphics. Makes sense for this release. And it has chrome hubs on the inside. So looking good. I like this Ford Supervan, pretty popular casting. Well, I shouldn't say popular. Popular enough to where there's enough casting collectors that enjoy it. Haulin Gas. Now, the first two I showed you were licensed models. But Haulin Gas is a Hot Wheels creation. It's one of their fantasy designs. For the Magical Mystery Tour. There's the licensing I told you about on the back. Looking good. Yellow and blue, just like the album artwork. Kind of looks like a Twinkie, eh? Nice tires. Let's go ahead and get the dairy delivery next. Very popular model with collectors. You only see it in the adult collectibles line anymore. I mean, nowadays, you don't see it in the basics anymore. This one got white stripe wheels. Is this a metal base? Yeah, metal base. I'll check the others. So far, metal. Everything metal so far. There's a look at the dairy delivery. Most popular one out of this set is the Hiway hauler. This will be the hardest one for you to find. Looking good. Oh, I gotta change. It's so big, I gotta change my focus. There you go. 6 tires. Oh, why is it so far away? 6 rubber tires. White tires to go along with the white album. Pretty cool presentation. Very creative from the Hot Wheels team. You have lights on the top for the rig itself. It looks like it does look like they did tampo right there for the lights. This is probably decorated as well. The base, metal base, made in Thailand. This is plastic probably. Yeah, definitely plastic. But this is the one everybody wanted out of the set. And if you want white walls to customize your vehicles, if you get 2 of these, you wind up with 3 sets of axles. Don't forget to check out my eBay store if you're looking for diecast for your collection or someone you love. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting. Bye-bye.